Today I'm going to talk with you all about the blues. Okay, it's my favorite form. It's an unbelievable form of music. It is many things at once. It's simple and it's complex. So we're going to focus on the simple side, but I'm going to give you a little taste of what the complexity is. It is it's a scale. That's what we used to play when we first started off. Or it can be an even simpler scale. That's the one that I like. It's a sound. It's the sound of the blues. Sounds like somebody moaning and crying. Do be do 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 dee boo do 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 do. It's melodies. It's a rhythm. It's many things. Now, the first way we're going to learn about the blues is through the sound of the train. So if you listen to this, this is called the old train shuffle. And the first thing we're going to talk about is what a train does. The train is built for motion. It takes you from one place to another place. So the first step of us learning the blues is to figure out what is a shuffle rhythm. So shuffles come from marches and waltzes. So if we have a march, it's going. It's a very stiff rhythm. Now if we add to this the feeling of a triplet, like a trumpet would play. That's very stiff. Now, when we put the two together, we get the shuffle rhythm. So it's a combination of 4 and 6. So it sounds like this. So I want y'all to try to do that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's akin to an Irish jig and to motions of music all over the world. So that's a good way for us to practice our introduction to the blues, is learn how to play that shuffle. Ting, 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 ting. Now we've heard it our entire lives as just a basic rock and roll bass line. So that's the first thing for us to learn about. The train is the shuffle pattern and the feeling of the blues. Now at the top, we have the melody part. So what does that train do? It blows a whistle. So when you get the song part of the blues is that train whistle, and the dance part is the shuffle. And now it's the thing we're going to talk about with the blues is playing. We play the blues. We play with the blues. So when we start to play this shuffle rhythm, we have our basic kind of march shuffle feel. Then we start to play with it. So on and so forth. We just play around with it. Okay, we heard about the train, we learned about the scale. Now let's talk about melodies and listening. The best thing to do if you want to learn how to play blues is listen to blues songs and imitate melodies. It was a time we used to learn with the scale first, but you could play up and down this scale forever and never come up with a melody. You could. One good melody is worth 1,000 scales. So I suggest listen to different people. The best place to start is W.C. Handy, the father of the blues. Learn some of W.C. Handy's music, and it'll start you on the right path. A good example of a basic blues song is that kind of thing gets you started with understanding what the feeling of melodies are with the blues. Now we're going to learn and talk about the blues as a form. This can be a little more complex, but I told you in the beginning, the blues is complexity and simplicity. So the blues, the traditional kind of basic blues that we settled on, has a 12-bar form. We count the bars like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to give you ways to understand this form and understand the perfect symmetry of this form. The blues travels through 3 chords. Here's the first chord. We call it the 1 chord. In the key of B flat. That's 1. Now it is going to travel to the 4 chord. Now those of us who know about music know that we call the 4-1 cadence an amen cadence, like in church you hear. So the blues is going to start in the 1 chord, then it's going to travel to the 4 chord. And from the 4 chord, it's going to travel back to the 1 chord. Now there's only one other chord we need to know, and that is the 5 chord. So the blues goes 1 to 4 to 1. Then it goes to the 5 chord. Now, normally 5 will lead right to 1, but in the case of the blues, 5 goes down to 4. Then it goes to 1. So those are the only chords you need to know: 1, 5, and 4. And those happen to be the 3 fundamental intervals in our Western system. Pythagoras discovered these intervallic relationships long ago. And when you learn Western harmony, the first chords you learn are 1, 4, and 5. It's the only chords of the fundamental blues. Now let's learn how to count it and hear it. Okay? We're going to start with four bars of the 1 chord. 2, 3, 4. Okay? That's the first section. So if you remember, the first section of the blues has 1 chord. And that chord is the 1 chord. Now, we go from that to the second section. The second section of the blues has 2 chords. The 4 chord. Okay, let's hear that again. The 4 chord for 2 bars. 1, 2. 1 chord for 2 bars. Let's put that together, and I'm gonna count out the measures. So here's the top of the blues form: 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now through these 8 bars, we've traveled through these chords. 1 chord, 4 chord. Now, first section of blues has 1 chord. That's the 1 chord. The second section, you have 2 chords to know. The 4 chord back to the 1 chord. Now, the third section has 3 chords. The 5 chord to the 4 chord to the 1 chord. Let's see how that sounds. This is the third section of blues. So that concludes 1 chorus of blues. Now, let's do it. I'm going to count 12 bars, and you'll be able to hear what 1 chorus of blues sounds like. 1, 2, back at the top. Okay, we've covered a lot of information. We talked about the sound of the train. We talked about the shuffle. We talked about melodies. We touched on the blues scale. Now we've talked about the 12 bars of the blues. Now we're going to talk about how to create melodies through imitation. So I'm going to play something, and I'm going to sing over it, and I want you to hear when I play it. If you have your instrument, I want you to try to imitate it. If not, you can just sing along with me. I'm going to play a phrase on the choruses of the blues, and then I want you all to sing along with it. Okay? Let's see if we can get our thing where you can hear what this is. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Do-dee-do. You play that? Do-dee-do-dee-do. Dee-do-do-do. That's you? I say, boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ba-dee-boo-dee-doo. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Now a little more complex. Do-bo-dee-dee. Lo-dee-dee-dee. This is you. Now I'm going to say, Loo-dee-dee-dee-doo-doo-dee-dee-doo. This is you. Loo-be-dee-doo-dee. Dee-dee-dee-doo-dee-doo. This is you. Dee-dee-dee-doo-doo. Dee-dee-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo. Bid-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Do-do-doo-doo-doo. Do-dee-dee. Bid-doo-doo-doo. Bid-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, that wasn't bad. After we got started. So that is a way to learn melodies through imitation. Now let's talk about something else. We're going to talk about the words of the blues and what they mean. Now there are many different types of blueses, so it doesn't fall into one thing. But just to generalize and give you a basic example of the blues, you play the blues, you stomp the blues, you clap the blues and dance and all the things you do with the blues to make yourself feel better. In this time of COVID, the blues is like a vaccine. You give yourself a little bit of what's going to come to you, and it makes you feel better about it, and you can fight it off when it's with you. So let's take the blues basically has 3 stanzas in a chorus. I showed you all the 3 sections. So what are the 3 stanzas? In general, the stanzas will have two stanzas will repeat, and the third will give some type of resolution. So I'll make up 3 stanzas and I'll give you an example. You say, I got my blues in the morning. I got my blues at night. Now I'm going to repeat this. I got my blues in the morning. I got my blues at night. Now I'm going to resolve it. I sing my blues all day. I know it's gonna be right. So you see, I give 2. I got my blues in the morning. I got my blues at night. Then I sing another one. I got my blues in the morning. I got my blues at night. Then the third one, I say, I sing my blues all day. It makes me feel all right. That's even better. I sing my blues all day. It makes me feel all right. Or I know it's gonna be all right. I know everything is gonna work out. In some kind of way, I'm not playing blues to feel worse about. I'm not playing blues to feel worse. See, that's the blues calling me right here. I'm not playing the blues to feel worse about my condition. Now, I'm going to show y'all another little basic exercise. And this helps with the blues. You can actually tape record yourself singing it and answer yourself. And this is going to help you to work on call and response. Because the thing about singing on these stanzas is in the blues, you actually have more space for responding than you do for calling. So it's a very democratic form in that way. So I tell you, I sing something to you, and then I want to hear you respond to it. So if my thing work, I want you to listen to how I respond to myself. It's a good exercise for you all to work on your blues. I got my blues in the morning. I got the blues at night. I got the blues in the morning. I got the blues at night. I sing the blues all day. Everything gonna be alright. So you see, that's another way for you to work on your blues. You sing it onto the form, and then you make up these things. Now I'm going to end what I'm showing y'all by talking about how to make vocal sounds. When you play with the blues, I want you to work on this sound. But I want you to do different things with the notes. Sometimes you can growl and hum and buzz. You can make that kind of sound. So it sounds like. For my string players, y'all can do all kind of scraping and scratching and do all different things. But the main thing you can do really on string instruments is you can bend notes. You can slide around on a note. So when you play a phrase, you to work on different ways to moan and laugh and cry these notes. And when you get those things together, then you're going to be playing the blues. Okay, let's do a quick recap of things that we talked about. We said the blues was a form. The blues is a feeling. The blues is a sound. It's a system of melodies. We talked about the blues as a rhythm, the shuffle rhythm. We talked about the train. And we said that the blues is the shuffle, chung, 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 and it's the train whistle. Wah, wah. We learned about the three basic chords of the blues, the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord. We learned about the overall 12-bar form of the blues, like the 12 months of the year, a dozen eggs. So many things have 12 signs of the zodiac. So we learned that there's 1 chord in the first section, 2 chords in the second, and 3 chords in the third section. We went through 1 moves to 4 chord, goes back to 1 chord, goes to 5 chord, 4 chord, 1 chord. We talked about that blues scale. We talked about the need to listen to the blues. We referenced W.C. Handy, and we talked about how we needed to have an understanding of the sound of something and not just to learn it through scales. We talked about call and response. We learned the 3 stanzas of the blues, and we said that the first 2 stanzas generally tell you something very bad that's going on, and the 3rd stanza resolves it. Then we talked about the fact that the blues leaves more room for response than for call. And finally, we ended up talking about create melodies through imitation, and then how to create these vocal sounds on string instruments, on brass instruments. You just got to sit down and moan and make all these different sounds you want to make, and then do them on your instrument. I hope these things help you in your pursuit of the blues, and I look forward to hearing you play. It's been a pleasure talking with y'all, and I hope you took something of value away from this. Thank you very much. Okay. There you go.